Heidi ho guys, it's time for another episode of STFA TV, and today we are going to be ultra meta because we are doing a console television zip bag on STFA TV. Now this pattern comes with 3 different options. You can either do the off-air pattern, you can do a blank, just use some of your funky favorite vinyl for an applique inset, so that you can have cartoons or what have you. Or you can do the movie leader, just like this. So I have already done the 5 and 6 bags. Today we're gonna do the 8 bag together, and we're gonna do the 8 with this movie leader countdown. So what are you gonna need? You are going to need your pattern from STFA. I always print my stitch order sheet. You're gonna need a piece of medium weight cutaway stabilizer hooped up. You are going to need 2 pieces of gross grain ribbon if you want it to be a crossbody bag, 2 lobster claws or D-rings, a 12-inch zipper, piece of Ollie Fun for that half lining we do on the back, some brown vinyl, and for the inset you'll need white vinyl. So the first thing we are going to do is we're going to clear some working space. Yeah. And we're going to throw this in the machine, and we are going to run color stop 1, which will give us our die lines for our hardware assemblies. Back in a second. Hey, and we're back, and we've got 3 die lines. If you want to make this a wristlet, you can use this one. If you want to make it a crossbody, you use the 2 at the top. We grab our 3 inches of gross grain rubby ribbon. Grow grain, apparently. We fish the rubby ribbon through our lobster claw or D-ring. We line up our raw edges. Woohoo! And we, about a quarter inch below that stitch line, we tape it down. Now we also, because we don't like jingly jangly hardware in our machine, we also tape our jingle jangles out of the way. There we go. And ribbit, 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 ribbit. Yeah. And making sure I am staying in frame. I got too much stuff on my desk. I need to take some of that away. 1/4 of an inch. Eyeball it, guys. You got this. And now secure your ribbon. Throw it back in the machine and run color stop 2 to tack those down. You can also run, and we are going to, color stop 3, which will give us our die line for vinyl and zipper placement. So run color stops 2 and 3. Back in a second. Guys, so we've got our assemblies taped or stitched down, and we've got our die lines for our vinyl. Now we're going to put our zipper in. You want to make sure that it is between these 2 lines right here. That's 1 inch. Zipper tape is usually right about 1 inch. Make sure top, bottom, it's nice and straight all the way across. And we're going to tape it. Go all the way across. Make sure we are nice and even everywhere. And tape it. Pop it back in the machine and run color stop 4 to tack down your zipper. And we'll be back in a second. Okie dokie, we got our zipper tacked down. It's now time to lay in our vinyl. The exact measurements of the vinyl are going to be in your instructional PDF. I'm not telling you what they are now because you may not be doing an 8x12 bag. You may be doing the 5x7 bag. You may be doing the 6x10 bag. So look at your instructions, your PDF, and find out what size these 2 pieces of vinyl need to be. We're going to buck them right up against the teeth. And we are going to put this back in the machine and run color stop. I think it's 5. Is it 5? It is 5 to tack down that vinyl, and we'll be back in a second. Okay, there you go, guys. That's all nice and tacked down. We're going to run color stops 6, 7, and 8. I will be back after 8. Okay, so we have done color stops 6, 7, and 8. 8 is this die line right here to tell you where on the TV screen to place your white vinyl for the leader, For the off air, it's going to be black vinyl. And for the blank one, you put whatever you want. The measurements for the applique piece will be in your instructions. The PDF that comes with all your zip files. Go ahead and tape this down, put it back in the machine, and run color stop 9. We'll be back after 9. There you go, easy peasy sesame seasy. All right, now we are going to trim this applique piece off. Super simple, super quick. We're gonna grab our duck bills because they are the best for applique, fabric or vinyl. We're gonna come in and we're going to go right to that zigzag. And now we're gonna place the paddle on top of the zigzag, and we are going to run our scissors all the way down. Oh, there's a little curve, so we're gonna curve just like so. And we're gonna curve just like so. And we're gonna curve just like so. We're gonna come down and finish off there. Woohoo! Now, I did not get as close as I wanted right here, so I'm going to carefully snip that down a little bit. Looks like I also got a little bit of a welt there when I didn't mean to. So there we go. And the rest of it is looking good, baby. Looking good. So we're going to throw it back in the machine, and we are going to run color stops. 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. I will see you back here between 14 and 15. See you between 14 and 15. Okay, kiddos, here we are between steps 14 and 15. And I'm going to do a little cleanup real quick. I got some of these little hairs sticking up that just bother me like you wouldn't believe. And of course, there's 1 or 2 jumps that didn't cut. That's just annoying. I think it might be time to change the cutter blade on my machine. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is, this is not a fully lined bag. This is a partial lined bag. So I'm going to take a piece of Olifun. Olifun is a trade name. Scott told me what the full name of this stuff is, but it's like some petrochemical blah, 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 blah. And about the 5th syllable I tuned out. So I just used the trade name Olifun, O-L-Y-F-U-N. And it's all one word. The O and the F are capitalized. I don't know. It's kind of like Play-Doh, I guess. They just, you know, random capital letters to mess with you. So you're going to take your Olifun. And you can use, ooh, I forgot to jump. You can use fabric. The reason I use Ollie is because it doesn't fray like fabric does. If you use fabric for your partial lining, you will need to use fray check on the edges to keep it from fraying, because the whole purpose of this is so you don't have this raw embroidery right on the inside of your bag. And you don't need a piece this, well, this is the big bag. So yeah, you probably do need a big piece. We're gonna just tape the 4 corners. It would help if I move my tape to this side of the bench so that I'm not like, you know, well, we'll call it stretch. Yeah, that was my yoga for the day. All right, so here we go. I'm just going to tape the 4 corners, throw it back in the machine, and run color stop 15 to tack that bad boy down. Back in a second. Woohoo! And here we are. So we're going to flip this bad boy over, and we are going to trim. We don't have to trim all the ollie, but we want to trim the left, the top, and the right, so that we can do our zipper trick, and so that when the bag's finished, our zipper is not blocked by that strip of ollie right there. Next, woo! Next, we are going to figure out, where did I put the trash can? No! Next, we're gonna do our zipper trick. And if you've done other makers bags, this is gonna seem strange. If you've done lots of my bags, you know this. We're going to open our zipper to approximately 2 fingers from the end. Then we're going to put some tape to make sure that zipper head stays open and out of the way. We're going to put a little piece of tape here because machines do not like the vinyl to zipper to vinyl transition. And this little piece of tape makes everything lay flat. We're going to put it back in the machine and we're going to run color stop 16, and it's going to give us some die lines, so we'll be back in a minute. Okay, kiddos, we've got our left and righties tapped down. So now it is time to do our zipper trick. So we're going to peel this tape up. We're not going to take it off. We're only going to peel it back to that tack line. And we're going to cut the teeth away from the ribbon. We're going to cut all the way down to that tack line. But when we cut the teeth out of the ribbon, we're going to leave ourselves about 1/4 inch so that when we turn our bag, those raw zipper edges don't go poing, because they'll want to. So about 1/4 inch there. Ooh, look at all of that icky. All right, we're going to put this back down. We're going to lift the whole mashugana up, and we are going to put a slice in our stabilizer. Can you see what I'm doing here? Good, because I can't. Ha ha. And we're going to tuck our tails to the back. There we go. And then we're going to rotate. And we're going to do the exact same thing on this side. We're going to cut our teeth out. All the way down to our tack line. All the way down to our tack line. But we're going to leave ourselves about 1/4 inch of teeth. Like that. We're going to lift this all up. We're going to go in here and we're going to put a little slice in the stabilizer. Just a little one. Then we're going to go tuck, 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 tuck. Pull it through. Tack that down. Yay. Yay. Flip the whole thing over. Now, we are going to crisscross applesauce just like kindergarten. Everybody find your space. And those are too long. So I'm going to cut them off because it's less for me to wrangle. Then I'm going to take a little piece of tape and I'm going to tape the crisscross right there. Then I am going to come over here and I am going to do the same thing. I'm going to crisscross, and after I figure out where the cross meets, I am going to go ahead and snippy, because there's no sense in me having to juggle all that crap. And then I'm going to tape it all down. I'm going to put it back in the machine and I am going to run color stop. Color stop 17, and that will tack our fold over under, and it'll give us some lines, die lines for our ribbon assembly. And we will be back in just 1 second. Okie dokie folky, we are back and looky there. Oh, everything's looking so awesome. So we got some work to do. First and foremost, we are going to put a little slice in our stabilizer so that when all said and done, we can turn this bag. Yeah. We're also going to pull up this little tape. And, oops, we're going to clip that little hair. And we're going to pull up this little tape. We're going to leave that tape there because, again, floppy metal bits. We're going to flip this guy over and we're going to trim off the rest of our, there we go. Zipper tails that did not get tacked down. Yeah, and look, I left tape. I am so awesome that way. It's free purchase or free gift with purchase. You get extra tape. Now, we have to fold our lobster claw assemblies down. And it looks like that's going to fold right down on my zipper. So I'm going to close my zipper just a little bit and go there. We want to make a little tab. And you see there's a little die line for you to cut to. Do not cut past that line. As a matter of fact, you don't even want to cut on that line. You want to be about 1/8 to 1/16 of an inch above that line. Okay, don't damage. Don't damage that line because it's going to be almost perfectly on the stitch line to attach the back. Then we're going to fold that assembly down and we're going to tape it down so it stays out of our way. Stay, sit, roll over, play dead. Then we're going to come down here and we're going to do the same thing. And we're going to cut, not all the way to the line, but to the line. Or not. There we go. And then when we're cutting this part, make sure you don't cut your ribbon. I've done that before. It is ugly. Many bad words were said. There we go. Now, voila, we need to put the back on. And we need a piece of vinyl. And we want to make sure that we cover our die lines. Left, right, top, bottom. Then we're going to just lightly saute. Nope, wrong thing. Lightly tape it in place. Throw it in the machine and run color stop. It's a color stop. Color stop 18. Do not run 19. 19 is a dead stop to keep your needle head from moving over the center of your work and catching on all the hardware. Run 18 only and we will be back. Okie dokie pokies, we are all done with that. So we're going to flip it over and we are going to trim the excess stabilizer from behind the zipper. Now, if you have not been going slow previously, this is totally where you need to go slow, because I have gotten so many comments about, hey, my bag turned out awesome. I was happy with everything about it. And then when I was trimming off the stabilizer on the back of the zipper, I sliced right through the zipper and I had to start all over again because I don't have a sewing machine. If you slice your zipper, it can be fixed on a sewing machine. It's a pain in the butt, but you can do it. You have to take things apart. So really, guys, go slow. Pay attention. We've sliced that off. We're gonna pop this out, and now it is time to trim our excess stabilizer and our excess vinyl. I use a rotary cutter. You do not have to use a rotary cutter. You can cut the whole mashugana with a pair of scissors. That is entirely up to you. That is your thing. Do it however you're comfortable. But because I quilted forever and a day, me and the roto cutter and the OmniGrid rulers are BFFs, and I miss them from time to time. So we're gonna whip those out. Also, are really fast. And we're gonna trim, about 1/8 of an inch from the seam line. Now, the one thing that we can't do, well, we could, but it's just as easy to grab some scissors, is round our corners so that we don't have excess vinyl down in the corners and they poke out rather than gnarl in. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna reach your hand in and we're gonna pull off 1 tapey tape, 2 tapey tape, and 3 tapey tape. Ew. Now we're gonna open up that zipper. There we go. And we're gonna stick a finger and a thumb down in the corner to turn it inside out. And then we're gonna come over here and do the same on that corner. And then we're gonna pull the whole thing right side out. Yay. There we go. Yay. And then we're gonna come up here and we're gonna do the same exact thing on those corners. And if you can't get these corners to poke all the way out like they should, that's fine. We're gonna grab a blunt rounded instrument that's nice and firm. And we're gonna carefully poke out our corners, just like so. Steady pressure. And then we're gonna roll our seams. Now, I'm seeing a lot of people go, hey, I rolled my seams and they don't want to stay that way. Well, remember, this vinyl has spent its entire life laying nice and flat, and now you're asking it to do a complete U-turn and crease and fold. So you have to train your vinyl. How to train your vinyl. Short stories coming soon. So you can get it all trained or rolled the way you want it, and then set super heavy stuff on it. Some people say, oh, grab a hairdryer, set it on low, and just heat it up a little bit. Other people are like, oh, I roll my corners or roll my seams, and then I set it in my, my press with the heat turned off and let it sit like that overnight. you can do all of those things. I started off with, actually, because most of our stuff was in storage when I first started this thing, I didn't have heavy books, so I'd put them between the mattress and the box spring and sleep on them. And then we unpacked our stuff, and I had boxes of books so I could stack books. Now, because I do 5, 6, 7 of these at a time, I have found that you can also, you want to use a little piece of felt, but you can use clover clips and clip them to sit overnight to train the vinyl. You don't want to put the clover clips right on the vinyl because clover clips do have teeth, and those teeth will leave indents in your vinyl. Just like we're training it to fold now, we'll have trained it to have indents as well. As well. How many as wells can I put in as well of a sentence? But I have found that if you put a little piece of felt, just like so, and you let it sit overnight, it will fold over just fine. Oh, I am running low on clover clips. Where did all my clover clips go? And and I still need 2 more clover clips. Oh, that's okay. We'll take them off of this other bag in just a minute. So there is the 7x11, and I did kind of a gray metallic, so it looks like the TV screen's off. And then here is our 6x10, and I used some funky psychedelic TV for that one. And here's the 5x7, the off-air pattern. So all 4 sizes come in a set, and then if you buy them individually or you buy the set, you get the off-air and the plain applique and the leader, movie leader, all. So the set actually is 12 bags, and then individually it's 3 different bags. So check us out on stringtheoryfabricart.com, and we'll talk to you later. Peace.